What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We here for the Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 10. Jamie is slid in here literally.
Look, last minute. I'm so
lean in
sorry.
literally.
I said, "Where is Jamie? My God!"
I'm sorry.
I know he
I'm
didn't. He
sorry.
didn't beg, borrow, and stole to be on this
Look.
Potomac panel, and then I
Look.
finally got to go on the panel. Now he want to do all this. But I like your little background, Jamie. It's cute. I see you back there getting
right.
This is why I'm late. This is why I'm late. I was trying to say,
But
look, 2 weeks. Look,
Oh my
Cortez, not all of us do this for a living. Some of us have to Google.
this is
how
not
to
for a
put
living. This is
picture
entertainment.
Some of us are a little slower than
Okay.
others.
Whatever. Jasmine, welcome back.
Hi,
Hi,
I
Jasmine.
missed you guys. I missed you. I was just life happens, trying to get sick.
Ooh.
That's okay. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Asia, actually, I think she may be a little sick too. And yesterday was Danny's birthday, so they couldn't be here today, but they'll be back.
Danny.
But this is the first time you two have been on the panel together.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Hey, honey.
but y'all know each
Hi.
other. Very well. We've been
Hi. I be watching. I be
know
watching.
I know.
like a fan. Not as playing. So as we're going to talk about episode 10. But before we get started, make sure you go below the video, like this video, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Of course, we did Salt Lake City yesterday, so that's up. Beverly Hills, we do that every Wednesday. Of course, this Wednesday. And basically, all the Real Housewives shows are now live, so you can catch them live every Monday, Sunday, or Wednesday. So look out for that. I'll be sure to post it, here and there. And yeah, so let's get into the episode. So episode 10 picks up where last week left off, where Candace called Ashley a wide body ass. And neither one of y'all were here. So I want to get y'all's opinion on that situation. Then we'll roll into this episode when we talk, because we talked about it last week, but y'all weren't here. But what do y'all think, starting with you, Jasmine, about the comment on Ashley and her wide body and her big ass face and big ass forehead?
Well, I love good roast session, but I don't know. Something about it made it seem a little bit too much. And I love Candace. Like, I love Candace. But something about it made it seem like it was just too much. I think that hoe did that. Well, that hoe did. I think they kind of maybe slipped out. But outside of that, I mean, I think it was kind of just like something that Ashley could grab on to keep disliking Candace. I do, however, think that the apology was kind of just like, okay, I say stuff when I'm heated. Sorry. I do think that it was actually genuine, because I mean, at the end of the day, it takes a big person to admit when they just say some shit out of anger instead of doubling down on it. So.
Yeah.
Jamie?
I think, I have a very complicated relationship with Candace and how I feel about her. No, but this is kind of what Candace does. Like, she speaks first and then thinks later. We all know over the years her mouth is lethal. You say anything to her and she will come back to you like tenfold. So it wasn't necessarily surprising. What was more surprising is that Ashley kind of sat there at that dinner, was completely unprovoked. It was like Candace came in, and that video of that girl that comes into the bathroom and says, "You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm actually a little bit bothered." Like, that was what Candace was giving. Like, she had held that in. She'd been wanting to tell Ashley that since she told her to grab her milk and go home.
Well,
she just let it out.
She'd been doing that. She claimed that she had been talking about her forehead and stuff like that. I mean, she had the comments. But I agree. Last week when we talked about it, I said, I mean, I get the hate and this disdain for her, but at the same time, it's just like, it wasn't really just in that moment. I didn't quite get it. It was funny, but she just kind of came at that girl so strong, and it was just like wide body, big face, big forehead, like whoa.
Where I can disagree is I think it was unprovoked as far as like actions, but I do very well believe that Candace had every right to be still upset with Ashley.
Well,
I believe
it was unprovoked at the dinner.
That's
Yeah,
what I said in the
at
action.
that second,
Yeah, in the action.
like she
was
walked
on
in,
her
and Ashley
feet.
was like, "Hi, everybody." No, fuck you.
That's right.
Your
Matter of
fat,
fact.
your wide body.
Right.
Matter of
It's like
fact.
she was waiting on her.
Right.
I mean, she was waiting on the moment to
Yeah.
kind of be
Get
upset
that out of her system.
again
Okay.
about it. But last week, I think who was that? I think it was Asia and was it Antonio? Yeah, last week, Asia and Antonio. We kind of all agreed that. I mean, because somebody asked like, do they still dislike each other? I'm like, yes, they still like each other. But Candace is hate, and she has a right to dislike her. Not even just from this, but past history. I feel.
Right.
But in this moment, I don't think Ashley did anything. I mean, she, it did bring up the fact that she was being messy on her trip, but I mean, she went in. Like, I don't think
she did. That's what I said. It was kind of like,
yeah. Like, oh God,
insult you. That's true. Hey, Asia.
Insult.
Asia said, "Look,
I agree with that, Asia. Like, I hate the fact that when they're doing a verbal battle, that Ashley always takes everything and make it like so big and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a verbal battle. I'm gonna say your big forehead ass and stuff like that.
Y'all know Ashley, Ashley in her head, I really feel like she thinks she's white. Because she really goes and she victimizes herself and it's a little privileged child. I'd be confused.
Yeah.
Like even in this moment, I'm gonna say something that kind of bothered me when she did fire back, she started talking about Candace's dry hair and her turban. Yep. And I was like,
right.
You know what? That's I'm looking at you like, all right, Ashley, like I get it. And it's an insult is an insult, you know what I'm saying? But it just kind of that's a little sus. For one, you have this little overarching little cloud over this show about colorism and stuff like that. And then you have her, which she has a white husband, right? Who has the most blackest mom that we know on the show. But it's just like it was kind of eye-opening, but I'm not surprised. It is Ashley.
Right. I would be a hypocrite to say, Ashley went too far.
Yeah,
but I'm like I just said, I'm a person with words, so what I'm saying, I can't go back on that. But I do understand what you're saying. Like I did double back on it, like her dry hair, her turban and stuff. It's a lot of shots at her. It's a lot.
We can't see you. By the way,
I thought he was going. My bad.
I was
it's a lot of
I heard that. I said, now hold up now.
But no, it's a lot of shots that kind of this kind of like dances and skirts around like.
Yeah,
black. I don't know.
I don't think she went too far. I don't think that because let me tell you something. When you're in a read shade bound, you say what you say. What she did say was very eye opening, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, my eyes aren't open. It was very wide and open, child. My eyes was wide as her body, allegedly. Because I was like, okay, Ashley, I see you, girl, and I'm sure because I've seen comments from fans, so. They both were out of line. She was mommy shaming, even though she said she wasn't mommy shaming. Yeah. Let me ask Jamie. Jamie, was Candace, was Candace mommy shaming? Because she tried to say that she wasn't mommy shaming.
I don't think she was mommy shaming. Candace was just shooting her mouth off. I don't think in that second she was purposely like, I'm gonna make this girl feel bad postpartum.
But why would she call her a wide body?
Let me ask you a question,
Jamie. I mean, I don't want to say that Ashley was wide bodied, but I mean.
Let me ask you a question, Jamie. Let me ask you a question. So, I love Candace, but do you agree that, okay, so this is my interpretation of what she did. She knew that the girl had a baby and she was going to be self-conscious about her body. So she made that a point to say that because it was going to be hurtful. Now, is it the fact that she says things that's going to trigger you, or is it mom shaming because you knew that was going to trigger her? You get what I'm saying?
I don't think it's necessarily mom shaming because last year she read her over her husband who was cheating on her.
I said mom shaming. I meant to say body shaming.
Body shaming.
That's what I meant to ask. Was it body shaming?
Okay. Yeah, it was definitely body shaming. It was absolutely body shaming, whether or not she's self-conscious about it or not. When you're attacking somebody based on how they look, how they present, that's a form of body shaming. Now, whether or not Candace cares about it or whatever, Ashley cares about it or. That's neither here nor there because Ashley seems like the type of bitch who's going to roll with the punches and I'll turn around and make you look stupid. So they have a history of giving it back to each other. But it's just one of those things where after the fact, you're like, Ashley, like, ooh, or Candace, ooh, you probably should have
She ain't
chosen
got no hips.
something else.
Yeah,
You should have got something
I think
else.
she's wide, but even if her skinny, she's wide because she don't have no hips.
She had
just
on
kinda
stripes.
shaped
I
up
think when
straight
it didn't
up.
She
really
has a
help that she
forehead.
had on stripes either.
She has
had
a
on
forehead.
stripes, and
Yeah.
stripes are known to make you a little wider. And so, if you notice online, because we're gonna move to the next topic, notice online, she been posting all these videos
About her
like
being
her
skinny.
dancing
Yeah.
and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Good for you.
And I
Good
just
for
really
her.
need her to stop because she has no rhythm. And it's just like she's revealing I'm not wide, but now she's revealing I can't dance either.
Yeah.
So now Candace gonna be like, with your non-rhythm having ass.
Well, I mean, Candace can't dance that great neither, so
I
Yeah.
thought
we
she
all saw
did good in Drive.
we all saw that music video. So
I
she can
thought
sing, she can't dance. Not that little move.
I like this move. Kiss my head. That's right.
I like
Oh
it.
gosh.
Okay, so moving
I'm on the wrong
in sex,
panel.
we've been talking about these two for the longest time. They're like the least of the conversation. But I will say it was a lot of filler content in this episode, so we're gonna breeze past a lot of it anyway. But Mia, Giselle does her little toast, and I just found it kind of shady, in my opinion, that she would be like, "Oh, you know, everyone was so excited to celebrate with Rob, and like she's that girl." And in 6 seasons, I've never seen anyone be excited to even hang with Robin.
Right.
But kudos to her. After
Right.
that, Mia announces her goddess event that she's gonna have, and she invites all the girls and basically says that Karen wants an apology from Giselle. And I don't know why she thought that was okay to do that, because I mean, it's not one in her place, but it's like you should have known when you're like that. But Giselle proceeds to say the same shit that has Karen upset, which is not just this time that he will be dead, that
She will be dead.
was it Karen and Ray will be dead before she apologized. It's
Not
just
double
like,
homicide.
Yep.
Double homicide.
double homicide.
Homicide.
How do y'all feel about that? Like at this point, has she not learned? Clearly, she has not. In my opinion.
Girl. But the thing with Karen and Giselle is, either one of them could say anything to the other, and they are going to take that and grasp onto the minutia of the negativity in that. Neither one of them want to like each other.
Yeah.
They enjoy hating each other so much more. It very much is Kim and Nene, where it almost is like there's this power struggle of who's going to be on top, who's going to be the most popular, who's going to have the most one-liners, the most fans. And since they've both been in the game for 5 years, 5 seasons, it's become like a competition now. They are never, ever, ever going to be more than what they are right now at all.
Well, I honestly don't know, because before this show, they were hanging out for like 10 years beforehand. I think that they have a lot of good history together on a good note. So I think that they will always, like you said, have that up and down. But deep down, I think that they will always have love for each other. Mia,
sure.
Now, if we go back, I don't know what season that was. I don't know which lean it was. Honey, chat, I don't care.
Mia.
Me, I was going to say now Mia. I was going to go back. I was going to go back to Mia because you asked like about her bringing it up at the table. I was going to just say Mia. I'm starting to like her, and I hate myself for it. I really just can't just stand myself for liking Mia like that. She's like, it's like she's cool a little bit, and I think I could be okay with her, because even though she brought it to the table like a nincompoop, I do think that she, you know what I'm saying, she meant well with it. And I feel like even with Karen, if you brought it to her to say it, then you can't tell her how to say it. I mean, you told her to say it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong with her. I mean, with how she said it. I mean, I just was like, I mean, I guess for TV purposes, sure, but it's like, what did you expect? Like,
right.
and then she was like, well, and she's known to bring stuff in the most whatever way to get hyped up. To your comment about liking Mia, I'm still like, but what I can say is I like her a little more than I. So if I didn't like her, now I'm at 0, right? Then I stopped liking her. I'm still not liking her, but I'm not like
you're like
hating
out of 10. You're like a 5. I mean, out of 10, you're like at maybe like a 4.
No, like a -2. I was at -8 at first. Now I'm at -2 because
I might be at like a
progress.
I might be
progress. So eventually, by the end of the season, I'll be at like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think I'm at a 4 or 5 now.
Okay.
So I enjoy Mia. What is kind of put me a little bit on pause with her, or at least side eye a little bit, is she kind of gives me in flashes very much Jen Shaw from Salt Lake. It's so over the top and so loud and so this. You have to start to wonder like how much of it is authentic and how much of it is like this is how you are. I think at the beginning of the season she came out on a 20, like guns blazing. I'm the new girl, and y'all, y'all aren't going to be able to take me. And I think now she's kind of like, okay, I'm settling in because every one of these girls is kind of firing on all cylinders.
A lot at the beginning. She was talking
cash
a lot.
Shit.
Tons and now of cash I don't shit. Mind what she's doing now. She's moving in a great way. Like I'm feeling her a little more because she is not talking as much.
Yeah.
And I don't think she came in like I'm that bitch. She just was talking so much, and every moment that she was lying. It's just like she was giving us so much information and lying at the same time of things that we didn't even need to lie about. So that's my irritation with her. But like I said, -2.
She's good TV.
I think
she's really good TV.
She does act like that. If we got that glimpse of her husband, I do think that it might be more of her personality than not.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about Karen and her video photo shoot in Potomac, Surrey County. I thought there was a lot of shady moments in here in this episode. This is one of them where they actually asked her and she had no real answer. And the commercial itself or whatever she was shooting was very
on an iPhone 5C. Like, what was this quality?
They had a regular
it was horrible.
No, they put that filter on there. He had that regular camera.
No, not a sepia tone filter. Did y'all watch Schitt's Creek when it was on Netflix? Okay, so whoever watched Schitt's Creek, there's this episode where Moira is doing a commercial for Herb Ertlingser's fruit wine in a vineyard, and she gets fucked up, and she's doing it over and over and over again. I think it's on season 1. This is what it gave me. If you guys don't know, I'm going to text y'all the link to it. It gave me very like she was making up the lines as she went. She didn't know where she was at. She was touching a tree. She was inviting people into some place that didn't exist. The wig was bad.
With this is like why, like what is she trying to show with her in Surrey County? Like I get the pride and I give back. You know what I'm saying? I look at it as maybe like her alma mater. She ain't go to college. She ain't got no degrees, right? So it's like going back for homecoming. I get that part. But it's just like I'm trying to understand like why she emphasizes so much with Surrey County and what is she trying to accomplish? Because somebody mentioned in the episode, they say something like about like international travel or some kind of travel that she is.
The lady said like bring the international visitors, and I'm like, who's going to Surrey County?
I mean, I guess they're just trying to get there. I mean, I'm not sure. I've never heard of it until the show, I guess. But I mean, I guess they're trying to get people to, whatever attractions they have there and be able to get more money into the city. I'm guessing.
Yeah. She's the local celebrity, and they're going to work with what they are going to work with.
She got to do more. Riding around in a car in a parade, getting a fake key, and doing a commercial is not something to advertise to get people to want to come. Like we're all watching this episode. We heard Surrey County for like 6 seasons now, and I still don't want to go.
The ham do look good though.
I still don't want to go.
The ham looks
good.
I'm just saying. Giselle and her daughters, and y'all remember everything about that?
I do want to say I thought it was a good moment between them. I really did. I did because I mean, I just thought it was a good moment. Now,
Grace is so beautiful. She's so pretty to me.
I think
she is. All of her daughters are really gorgeous.
Yeah.
Grace, I just feel like just growing up with a single mom, especially, just not even single parent, single mom. You started becoming their best friends and stuff like that. So I'm guessing through all the men, not all the men, but through the men that's come and go in her life,
not all
of like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she's been the person that you probably does get the Giselle that everybody was talking about at the end of the episode. Like, this is the Giselle that we ain't never seen before. But I'm sure Grace has. So I really did. I thought the conversation was good. It was better than the first one when she was just like, I don't want you dating basketball players and da 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 da. I thought it was more in depth. So I really enjoyed it.
You didn't agree with the scene. You didn't like the scene.
Well, for them, it was better than it normally is. I'm always trying to decipher it's because her daughters hate her, or is it because her daughters may just be awkward and don't like being on film? Like if y'all remember Riley, when Riley first got brought on, I thought Riley hated Candy, and it turns out Riley just did not necessarily care to be on film. And particularly when you're a young woman, 13, 14, 15, the last thing you want to be is like reality TV cameras in your face while you're trying to like figure out what's going on with your body. So, child, I don't know, but the last time we saw her at that driving test, their daughters could not stand Giselle at all.
Really?
Like, wanted her to shut up, hated her. So it's good to see them at least nodding
No,
and
I don't
acknowledging
agree.
her.
I can't agree with that. I don't.
It
I
was the
think,
first scene where they felt more comfortable and they weren't reading her. I felt like
yes, she
like
wasn't on her neck like
it was
they
a fair scene.
normally
I didn't
are.
dislike it. I didn't mind it. I mean, I'd rather watch scenes with her and her daughters versus her and the other women because it's like always a mess. So at least you get type of like authenticity about it. But yeah, that's just I guess looking at them too, like the twins, you have. I feel like the twins, they seem so much younger to me, but they're not. They're only 2 years younger than Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And I always be like,
How old are they?
14, and then the twins are
16.
14, and then Grace is 16.
I thought she said Grace was going to be a senior. How old are you when you were a
No,
senior?
Junior.
Oh, a junior.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching the episode, obviously.
Really, you watch that scene. So we're gonna move on to the next one. Let's talk about Candace and Chris. So last week we talked about this and how they were feeling about how Candace feels versus how he feels. I want to hear y'all's perspective on I guess this, because basically it carries over. Candace wants him there more. He feels like he still has a life outside of that and that he should be able to enjoy his life. But she wants him there, and apparently he ain't there. And at least that's the way they're trying to make it look like. What do y'all think about their situation this season?
I'll let you go first, Jasmine.
I think that Chris is a good communicator, maybe from what we see on the show. Mm-hmm. I don't like to say he can handle. I don't like to say men can handle somebody or women can handle somebody. What I can say is that he's a good match for her. Yeah. And how she communicates as well, which I think that she actually communicates well with Chris outside of the ladies. What I can say about him, he probably still like he said, I think it was last episode, I'm gonna be getting an allowance or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I do respect him of wanting to keep his own stuff, because I mean at the end of the day, it's nothing wrong being a caterer or cook or chef or whatever, something like that. But I do think that's just Candace's self-centeredness of not being able to see it in the beginning of how, she was, even though that's not your intention, that's why he had to clarify and say, that's how you made me feel. Not even though that's not your intention. So sometimes you can make somebody feel some type of way, even if it's not your intentions. But I was proud of her for saying, I'm sorry, because that's really hard, even though, what I'm saying, even though you might still feel like you want him there, you can respect where he's coming from. So I really liked the episode. It gave me like a real situation in a marriage, and it was good to see it, baby, to start from kind of start to finish. So I like Chris a lot.
Jamie?
I like Chris. Like, Chris always seems to be very just like, not so much like you said, Jasmine, that he can handle her, but their communication styles are different. Chris is the more level-headed, just very much like the black and white, this is what it's going to be. And Candace is Dorothy's daughter. And all of the bad aspects that come with being a narcissist child. Both of the fights that they have gotten, both of the fights they've gotten in, I've looked at Candace and I'm like, this obviously isn't the first time that they've had a conversation like this, because Chris was already like right off the bat agitated and frustrated. So this tells me that they've had conversations similar to this about his role before, because he's on the defensive, like, no, I want to do this. I want to make my money. I'm not going to have anybody thinking that I'm mooching off you. And I'm pretty sure Dorothy is probably talking a lot of that in front of him. So he's not dumb about Dorothy's stance either. So I was a little disappointed in Candace that she kind of threw a tantrum like, no, I need you to be here for me, waiting on me hand and foot, essentially. I do like that she apologized, but again, that's Candace. She talks first and then thinks back later and like, shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. So I hope that she can continue to like hear him out, because that man is not trying to mooch off her. That man's trying to forge his own path, and she needs to let him do that.
So let me ask a question. In that scene at the table, you saw her throw a tantrum?
Not necessarily throw a tantrum.
Are we talking about last week at the dinner? Or
I'm talking about both.
House.
And I'm talking about both at the house. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I guess talk about both, because the one at the restaurant or whatever was kind of a continuation of the other conversation that they have and the frustration. Yeah. So it wasn't so much throwing a fit. He was saying, I already have everything set up. Everything is there for you. I already have people there that are going to be watching you. We're good. And she was just like, but you need to be there. What if something goes wrong? What if it's this? What if it's this? So it was kind of like, you're not hearing me when I'm telling you I have stuff lined up and there's a reason why I'm not there. You're only thinking about your needs and your desires and your wants. And that got him frustrated, obviously, as we saw. But then in Candace's defense, she was probably right. As an artist, when you're first coming out, you probably are going to want a lot of hand holding. She should have got herself a manager whose only job is to manage her. Unfortunately, that's not Chris. He's not going to be able to give her 100% of his time. And it's probably not healthy either. Like, to work with your husband or your spouse and see them constantly every second of the day, that can't be healthy.
I want to say that we talked about it last week, of course, but I think that, you know, I didn't see her throw a tantrum. She did say, I'm about to cuss you the fuck out, something like that.
That was last week.
But I think I understand both sides. You know what I'm saying? He does want to, you know, but it's like, one, he's signed up to do it, and if she's taking it seriously, really wants to excel, then he needs to be there and he needs to commit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't really do anything, I feel like. And in his case, I get it. He has other things to do, but he's not doing that damn much. Especially when we sit on TV to where and I think also it comes with, you know, also although that he is her manager, he's still her husband. And I think she wants that support too. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like the line with the two. But I mean, I give both sides. I do like when he said that's how you made me feel, because that's very essential to a lot of people's feelings and arguments. Like sometimes it's not, like I said, intent versus impact. You know what I'm saying? You have to sometimes you shouldn't be insensitive to people's feelings. And I'm glad he was able to have her feel that, and she kind of had her moment.
She acknowledged it, which was good for her. I'm happy for her. Good for Candace.
Like that they're showcasing their marriage this season, and like she doesn't have like a huge storyline with the girl. She's involved, she's present, but her storyline is obviously within her family, which is like it gives typical housewives, or I guess not typical, child. I say classic housewives, where they have stuff at home, then they have stuff with the ladies, versus not having anything going on but breastfeeding in a restaurant.
Right.
Girl, every time Michael Darby shows up on camera, he sexually assaults somebody, allegedly. So we need him way over there. Leave Ashley alone. I hope Ashley at some point, because her music career is taking off, I really hope that she looks into somebody else to manage her that can give her the time that she wants and deserves. Because I don't think that Chris is going to be able to give that to her, and it's just going to cause.
It was very
Candace. It's going to cause a lot more.
Shady for him to say. It's not like I'm at home not doing anything, and they flashing the alcohol.
It was.
And the time.
You can always
what
count.
time it was, and it was 4:50. I'm like, man, Bravo, look, people drink at 4:00 all the damn time.
Right.
All the time.
But yeah, I don't think he's doing that much to what he, you know, if he's missing, it's like key things, like you can manage and do work, but some of those things you should be at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she should also understand he can't be at everything. And maybe she should get somebody to manage that can be at those things. Because I really think it comes down to her just wanting her husband there. Not necessarily the whole you ain't there. It's you ain't there for me, husband, versus you ain't there for me, manager, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So then Ashley and Karen met up. I thought that was very awkward. Y'all don't want to talk about that? No. Ashley and Karen, no. Robin and her life coach, and she still got those braids. She's still talking about the stolen money, and that
outfit was so ugly. That outfit was ugly. The frill, the bow in the middle of the day that Robin was wearing with the braids when she went to go see the life coach.
I didn't
why was it a frill?
And
jeans and high heels? Someone help that woman. Oh my God.
Let's talk about the goddess lunch, because I thought this was actually funny. The arrivals were funny. How everybody was
Brick Road.
I just want to know why they shady moment. They zoomed into Karen's dirty ass pants. I don't know if she showed up dirty or did she get dirty walking, but she was walking. They zoomed in like she had on those white like long pants, so they were bound to get dirty anyway. And whose goddess look did y'all like the most? Let's just say that.
Mia looked gorgeous.
Okay.
Mia looked absolutely gorgeous, I thought.
Okay. What kind of goddess do y'all think Ashley was?
She didn't get the memo.
Dusty
You said Dusty?
Dusty goddess of dust.
She looked like she walked out of a sale at Anthropology. Like,
I thought that Wendy looked really beautiful.
Wendy, yes, Wendy looked gorgeous.
Ascala, I liked hers. I liked her hair. I thought the hair was.
Ascala hasn't missed for me. Ascala has looked consistent every episode.
I've said that. I think her hair was really what it set it off for me. It was really with the theme.
Yeah.
And I liked Giselle. God.
You like Giselle look?
I liked Giselle. I think it was something that was just like I thought it was cute on her. Went with her little hair color and stuff. I'm not gonna say it was the best, but I thought she looked cute actually.
It was a step up. When you're constantly disappointed by what someone
something
wears,
small can just make
like,
you say,
she doesn't look hideous.
Is you didn't like it. You just grateful that you didn't have to
hate it.
Dislike it.
Yes. I thought she looked like I was like, oh okay. Whew. Yeah.
Not whoop, thank God.
Robin's little prom dress had me.
I didn't like her dress. Karen said Karen,
I hated it.
Robin, I love that dress. It's really beautiful. I love it. Yeah.
I could not get into the dress.
Purple,
I was like,
and it was
blue.
Asymmetrical. It didn't fit her
and
right. It just was not a flattering dress.
She kept like squatting behind. What the fuck was she doing? Like she would just sit. She kept doing like that behind Candace. Did nobody see that? Tell me y'all see that.
I stopped looking.
Hold on, let's roll this footage.
Somebody go back and rewrite it right now because while they was talking, she was like, it was like Karen and Giselle, and she was just sitting with her legs squatted open, standing over Candace, bending her legs up and down. And I was like, what the fuck is she doing? And she kept doing it. I like the dress, but not for the case. Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah. I like the hair. I think Robin's hair was cute.
Yeah,
those braids look cute on her.
Oh.
Brooke said she saw it, Jasmine.
You seen that, Brooke? Okay. I'm glad that I
didn't see it.
I didn't see it at all. I saw it
twice, and I kept saying, "Why is she doing that?" But she's weird. So.
Yeah, Robin's so good. Anyway.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry, Candace's little wig.
Oh,
I hate that. She took that right off of
wig.
Who came as Dorothy Dandridge at that Night of 1,000 Hollywood Starlets? Was it Portia that had that little Dorothy Dandridge wig?
Yeah. She played Halle Berry. She came as Halle Berry with Dorothy Dandridge, not in Bats.
Yeah. Not in Bats. Yeah. I said she must be in between hair appointments. Like she must have not been able to get her hair done because she tossed that little wig on and said,
I thought she was going to a video shoot.
Yeah, she posted that because she even posted online, I believe, like that she had a video shoot.
That's worse.
Before that or afterwards or something like that, child. So
it's for like
she said it's a 70s look. I don't know.
70s. Oh, I said 50s. Excuse me. 70s.
Baby, that's a Tyler Perry look.
Well, Ashley said it was moisturized, and then, Ashley calls her a chipmunk. So what's the difference between saying your long forehead ass and then your chipmunk cheek ass? So I just wanted to say
they both love to patronize each other.
I mean, I just think it's a good banter.
Little comments or like their little like what they like about each other was so damn shady.
That's not like shady. And I'm just like, y'all are saying the one thing y'all really talk about each other about. Like you're talking
they hate each other.
Motherhood.
Child, you just calling her big wide and come on now. And then what did Ash say about? What did Ash say about
pursuing, being passionate about pursuing
the music?
She said, I appreciate you still pursuing it, is what she said. Still pursuing it.
It was shady. It was a good back and forth shade.
Yeah.
But it was just, and then she also says, in this moment that so they first start talking about the music video, whatever, and she again says that Ashley's not invited. I'm just like, damn. Like at this point, now do y'all think Ashley would have actually come had she been invited? I think so.
I think so.
Ashley would show up just like Rollo to an opening of an envelope with that damn baby. Okay. Bring
the baby to a damn outside dance
with the Corona.
Ashley does not care. She will show up to whatever she can shake because she probably would have came there and been shady. Real shady.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, I can see that. Okay.
I'm surprised that production didn't, step in and be like, she has to come because word on the curb is Candace didn't want any of them there. But that's just the word on the curb. But they had to basically have the rest of them. They had, for filming purposes and for promoting of the song and stuff like that, the cast had to be there. So that's just the word on the curb.
Which I can kind of see that. Like Candace is actually really serious about her music career. So I can see where she would want to separate the music from being a Real Housewife. Like I'm sure she probably doesn't want people to be like, oh God, another Real Housewife is putting out a song. So I can kind of see where she'd be like, y'all don't, Giselle, you and your ankles need to stay home. Don't come to this music video shoot.
What
It's not for you.
Thick leg Giselle.
Not thick Giselle.
Wide leg Giselle.
What did I think about what's her name? Robin's nice thing or whatever she said about. Well, she said something about. Well, I thought it was one person. Now, how did she get to go around the damn table?
It was everybody.
It was everybody, but for her, they showed literally her going to who was it? Karen and then Wendy. And for Wendy, she was like, what'd she say?
I appreciate the passion that you have for
I
your
love the
family.
passion that have your family. But I'm gonna keep it short. And I'm just like,
Cool.
Robin is really in her head. Robin,
you could have kept it to yourself.
Robin is really working hard to be relevant this season. This is the most she's ever given us because she's trying to create these moments. They're not really funny, but I see what she's trying to do. And I see JP Rob mention too that Karen's telling Robin she taught her how to laugh at herself. I thought that was shade too.
That was shade.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That's a breath of fresh air. I really like that about you. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Ain't none of these comments actually nice because everybody that they stand it to or they showing it is the ones they don't really care for.
Right.
Wendy didn't give one. Did she give one?
I don't think they actually got around to it because they stopped at Giselle. She had a preacher mom, but then it was like kumbaya, I guess. That was it.
Yeah, Giselle did mess it up.
Yeah.
She did mess it up.
As always.
But Giselle and Wendy had their moment, and basically Wendy is not really in a place to talk to Giselle. She feels like Giselle should be coming to her. And Giselle feels like, you know, she said she did apologize for not coming to her, but basically the comments afterwards is what has her upset. Now the comments about Jamal and stuff like that, at this point, like Candace said, you know, did you know? She said she knew. So it's like, well, then why didn't you just say you knew this? You know what I'm saying? Because this whole year, almost a year now, when these receipts came out, she was just sitting there stunned, like, no, like, but it turns out she claimed she knew. Do you think she really knew about this stuff, or she just saving face now?
I think she knew.
I mean, put yourself in Giselle's shoes. She's dizzy, but she ain't stupid. Like she has to have known what was going on. She had to, whether or not she wanted to believe it. I think that on that reunion stage, it was confirming a lot of suspicions that she probably had. And you know, Giselle's. I mean, as much as she tries to play, oh, well, at the end of this episode, this is the weakest or the most vulnerable I've seen her. Oh, girl, that's an act. Giselle's a nice
I agree with that. I agree with that because not vulnerable. I think she was definitely faking it by saying she was hurt because I don't think I don't think she ever will be hurt by.
She don't care.
But I think that she does have more of like a wall built to where she really plays unbothered. Yeah. And I've said plenty of times that I think she is very much so bothered. She just has a face to where or an aura that gives I'm not bothered, but that stuff has to hurt her or bother her. This is the first time, I guess, for TV purposes or whatever, she said that she was hurt.
Well, she cried.
And I want to say this too. A lot of this is kind of coming on Karen because Monique is not there. I mean, Monique did majority of the damage. You know what I'm saying? Karen just kind of had little ad-libs like, ooh, a little sauce, but Monique did all of this talk. And so it's kind of unfortunate, but her real true issue is with Monique, but Monique is not on the show. So, yeah.
Well, it took her 4 seasons to find an actual issue with Monique, so might as well run with it into the next season.
Giselle did cry with that hairdresser that's her friend. That's the only time I seen her cry over that guy with the
was in the park.
Yeah.
She did cry with him. I don't think at the reunion that she was getting even confirmed because majority of things that Monique brought out on that binder was already in the press before they got to the reunion. So I think that she already knew. They probably already talked to Jamal, but I do think maybe she was surprised. I do agree with that, Asia. But I do think she was surprised that she had a binder in general, that she just put all that stuff from the blogs and binder.
So they said she broke down at the reunion anyway. We didn't get to see that, but they said she broke down.
Get to see it.
At the reunion.
I remember hearing about that, and then they never showed it. And it's like, okay, well, Giselle's a favorite. Andy always paints his favorites in a certain light. So, okay.
Right.
I was waiting for it.
I do believe that I did believe she was maybe hurt that Karen would be, you know what I'm saying, doing that with Monique because, like I said, they do have history. But at the end of the day, I think that that Giselle likes to do shit and not get it back in return. And then when she does get it back in return, she makes it a big deal as though it wasn't even that serious. It wasn't even that deep. Because even back when her and Candace had an issue, she kept talking about her mama. Oh, her mama bought that house. Her mama bought her ring. And then as soon as Candace said something about her house, you were nasty. You know, you can't be fucking nasty, you know?
Yeah.
So I do believe that Giselle, you know, has a problem with people giving it back. She done made a t-shirt. She done brought a pizza to that woman's house. She done she done
I
said
forgot about the t-shirt.
The t-shirt, the pizza, the air. She done said Erica Lau's name on camera. Said that your husband want him. She done said something. You know, she done did a lot to Karen. And honestly, you know, the whole wishing death for my husband thing is a reach. And like I've said previously, I think that Karen should have just said over the time period. I just feel like you've done so much to me. Like that's just that's where I'm at. I feel like you lied.
That's what they both need to be saying, but
this is the last straw.
Yeah,
I feel like honestly, Giselle is the cause of a lot of it. She is the one that has kept it going. Because there's been a couple times where I feel like they have kind of reached a good point, and then Giselle comes back and does more. You know what I'm saying? Last season, I thought Giselle and Karen were okay, but I think Monique and the fact that, like Asia said, Karen kind of rode Monique's coattails. She kind of aligned herself with that, and she kind of got involved. Wow, I can't remember what exactly Giselle did to Karen last season. What did she do to her? Like what? I know. I don't
think she did anything last season. Last season, I think didn't Karen actually tell Monique like, you're trying to like sequester this woman. You're trying to like get the group and turn them against Monique. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not.
What
jumping
season
on
was it when
bandwagon.
Karen got really drunk and then she started talking about all her business? Was that last season?
That was the beginning of last season.
Season
that was
before,
with the fireball.
Yeah, she got really drunk.
Yeah,
it was.
That was the beginning of
Monique's
last
house.
season.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't know, but they
look. You can't keep score.
I
can't keep score.
I can't, but I will say they apologized. Well, Karen apologized, and they seem to get to a good place. We'll see. You know, they always resurface. Do we think it's going to last?
Not at all.
No, okay.
Not at all.
Are we tired of it? Are we tired of it?
No.
Yeah, I think I might be tired. I might be tired of.
Go ahead.
I'm tired of the reason why they're fighting this season. Like that wishing death on Ray is a reach and the weakest plot hole I've ever seen on Potomac. But I just need them to find something substantial to fight about, and I'm gonna be Team Karen the whole way.
I forgot about the Jamal lives in the phone. But are we sure nothing happened before that?
We're gonna have to go back and watch. We're gonna recap the whole season.
No, I ain't doing that. Season 5.
That was a lot.
Toxic season I have ever recapped. I will never step foot back into those videos because it was so stressful.
Look, the fans were either team Monique or team Candace. I will say,
was still pretty new to this, and I was just like, this is too much.
You know how I feel about Candace Cortez, but I will say I am really enjoying Candace this season. It does seem that conflict with Monique has taught her to self-assess and self-examine some of the shit that flies out of her mouth. She's a lot quicker to offer an apology, and a lot of these women could probably learn something from the journey she's on, because ain't none of them are quick with an apology. But Candace seems to be like, all right, that was some foul shit. I'm sorry. Whatever.
I just feel like she's just picking her battles. I don't think nothing's wrong with her mouth. I
don't think anything is wrong with her mouth either.
I don't think nothing's wrong with her mouth. I feel as though that people can't handle when somebody gives you a 2. When somebody can be shaded to you on a 2 or 3 level out of 10, and then somebody's always giving you a 9, you're going to think that they are, you know what I'm saying, nasty or something. And it's just one of them things, like, I've just never been a person to tell somebody how to defend themselves, because if that's just how you're going to defend yourself, that's how you're going to defend yourself. People will say, well, she talking, she can't fight. Okay. Yeah. Like she can talk and don't fight. Okay, we're 30-something years old. I'm 33, and I think she's 35 or
34, 35.
35, one of them. And who
So.
cares about fighting? Monique has 3 kids and she's 30, 37
I
years
mean,
old.
if we're being honest, Monique can't fight.
I mean,
Monique
it wasn't really
let's
a
be
fight.
clear.
I mean, it was
Wasn't
a
a fight.
scuffle. It was just a hair pulling a scuffle, but it's
I
just
will
like,
say
that's not even the point of fighting.
I think that I would enjoy Candace's outburst more if her reads were a little sharper and a little more visceral, because anybody can call somebody fat. Anybody can call somebody wide.
You don't think she has a very
that milkmaid comment. That milkmaid comment was fucking, that was brilliant.
Yes.
But and I think Cortez, we talked about this. None of the ladies on this show can read, really. They all are given just these random things they're pulling out of the air. But I think that I would live for Candace if she just, I want her reads just to go next level.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Next level.
Do you like Kenya?
I can't really stand Kenya.
Okay, because I was gonna say, if you like Kenya and don't like Candace, it's something.
No,
because
I don't really care for Kenya.
I don't care for Kenya, and I like Candace because Kenya goes below the belt, and it's really unwarranted. What I like about Candace is, honestly, Candace does not start that shit. She responds. Now at that table when she said that hoe did.
Yeah,
she
started that. She started that. I would agree. I do agree. I don't think many of these things she started. And people, when you have this conversation, people be like, "Oh, she did start it because she was like last thing they was like she was befriended Sharice and she Monique ain't like her like loyalty." And I'm just like, the people will reach for straws.
Yeah,
girl, ain't nobody friends with Sharice.
The exact
ain't nobody friends with Sharice.
Sorry, I love
the exact same energy. You mentioned that she apologizes now. Last season at the beginning, and everybody in the world knows that she was doing her best to diffuse any situation with Monique before it even got to that point. So the one time that she actually decides to be like, you know what, whatever, is when it went out. So I think this is. When I look at videos all the time, I see all these Potomac videos. You go back to when she was into it with Sharice, when she was into it with Giselle, you know what I'm saying, and then Monique and then Ashley, whatever. It's always less Ashley. It's always because I feel like they have made her feel like or talk to her like she's a child. Look, I think that's the issue.
You know what?
Yeah, disrespectful.
That's what her mama does. And because she can't talk that way to her mama, she takes it out on, and as she should. And like I said earlier, she is Dorothy's daughter. A lot of these stuff that we see is a direct reflection of the way Dorothy raised that girl. So she's on the defensive all the time.
Well, I don't even think it's that she's taking it out on people. I'm gonna just say this like this. My mom used to be the same. My mom used to be the same way. Literally was very strict, and Lord rest her soul, she was one of the strictest mamas in my high school. But when I got to college, I just was a firm believer. If she can talk to me like that, but your ass can't. I'm not taking something out on you, but it's gonna be one thing for sure. Ain't nobody gonna talk to me like this motherfucker be talking to me. Now I'm sorry, but I'm gonna cuss your ass out. And that's where I was at with. So I guess that's why I really understand Candace, because it's just like, leave me alone. Okay, do you know my mouth sharp? Why you playing with me? I will never understand people's defense on that fight. I will never, and it's got to a point where I'm not gonna argue about it. I will argue about it for a year, child. But I can't argue about it.
Last season
it was Giselle's fault.
I see so many comments all day. People like, bring Monique back. No, like I don't mind her coming back, but I'm glad that this season is doing well. That she's not here, because they really deemed it as it's going to fail. And I'm like, honestly, y'all, like being completely honest, let's move all teams aside. She was on Potomac for 5 seasons. She had one good season. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Monique was enjoyable. She was an enjoyable cast member, but every cast member brought something, and that's where Potomac is different from the other franchises. Is everybody in the cast plays a part. So when you take one person away, it's not going to crumble, because the other people are all really, really strong and have been. Monique was never the queen bee, that girl. She always played off of whoever she was friends with there, and she was enjoyable. But the show was never going to suffer because of her. She wasn't caring.
That's what they try to make it seem like she was the queen. Yeah. I'm like, Monique, y'all, well, her role is set.
And I love Monique. I love Monique. She was a little bit weird.
Not a little bit.
She was a little bit weird. She was a little bit holistic. She was like if Katie had her shit together.
Okay,
That's what Monique would be. Katie's a complete mess. I love Katie so much, but that woman's a mess.
I got somebody
off topic.
Call really quickly.
I need to get a charger because I'm on 15%.
That's okay. We're about to end soon anyway. Because
okay.
What's up, Mel? Welcome to the lean.
Hi, Mel.
Mel, you joined a little late. We're about to lean out shortly, but go ahead and give me your spiel.
No, that's okay. I just came in for work. I was listening, and I heard y'all talking about last year. I had to come in real quick. Yes, when y'all were talking about last year, I wasn't going to call in. I was just listening. I was just enjoying the show. That's why I came in. But when y'all kept talking about last year, I said, "Oh my God, let me call in real quick."
Oh Lord!
You got
2 minutes.
I
know how you feeling, but
yes.
You got 2 minutes. So
I only need one, and I'll tell you more on Instagram. Let's put it that way. Yeah. You know what? I think I just like the conversation that y'all was having. I think it's true. Last year, this is why I like this show, because this is the only safe place and balanced place to listen to Potomac. Everybody else was Monique's friends. Everybody who reviewed the shows, whether it was whoever the bloggers were, they all were very biased. So it's very hard to listen to the fact that that Monique was so mad with Giselle and took it out on Candace, because so I like that part that y'all were talking about. That this is the only safe place we can watch Potomac reviews, because it's not like you all are brought off by Monique like everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's also not a Monique hate page either, because I did enjoy moments.
It's a little pro Candace. It's a little pro Candace.
We hold her accountable.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because I know for a fact Antonio and Danny will definitely I know where they stand. So when these panels are picked and chosen, like they're chosen to have equal sides. Even for like Kenya's, like come on, let's be clear.
Already. Okay.
Just so we're very clear.
I like it. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to your show.
All right.
Thanks, Mel.
Okay. Thank you, Mel.
I love Mel.
Yeah, I love Mel. Mel calling all the time. Mel actually called in yesterday for Salt Lake City. He had never watched season 1, but his what he said and what he mentioned about like his whole analysis, everybody was actually very spot on. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
But watch season 1 though, Mel, because season 1 of Salt Lake City is really
watch
good.
season 1, Mel.
And you'll understand more of 2 and Jen and Brooke.
God.
But that being said, we're gonna lead out. We have covered everything in the episode, and next week I didn't really see what that's going on next week. Oh, the video shoot. The video shoot.
Yeah.
We've seen the video.
Oh, and her mama.
Her mama. It's gonna be shady. Dorothy. I saw a lot of the women giving side eyes. So one thing about housewife culture, when there's events and stuff like that, there's always some shady moments, shady comments. And I think that is kind of what happens next week.
I think that's why. Is that not why Mia and Candace gets into it? Because why is Mia asking her mama, does he get paid for that? Like you don't even know her.
Yeah, this is where Candace and Mia has their how they get to their salad tossing issue.
Okay.
Because of the video.
Can we rephrase that? We got to rephrase salad tossing.
Salad tossing.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just gonna end on this. Someone need to whoop her mama ass. Her mama has been Candace mama. Someone needs to whoop that woman's ass. Dorothy needs her ass whooped so hard.
If Mama Joyce ain't got
bring Monique
exactly.
If Mama Joyce
don't try
Mama
to
Joyce need her ass beat.
Dorothy ain't did nothing.
If Mama did,
Mama Joyce ain't got nothing.
Joyce, Jim Jones' mama.
Look, Monique's mother-in-law needs her ass beat.
Right.
Like bring all them
Dorothy's
women.
Okay.
Lord have mercy. I think Sheila needs her ass beat for that patch. I never get over that patch.
I can't say that.
The side wig.
That patch. Just take it out. I'm sorry. Actually, I don't know. I don't think anybody needs their ass beat. Everyone needs to just argue and say with their words, because violence should never get to that point over words. Now,
unless you're weak.
Yeah,
I wouldn't get into it with Sheila. Sheila looks scrappy. She looks like she fight.
I bet
Sheila fight. Sheila fight.
She lived underneath a bridge. I'm sure
Sheila fight.
No, she's not being funny. But she lived.
Sheila fight.
She not scrap.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get out of here. Been watching. Thank y'all for watching. We saw everybody in the comments. JP Rob, Brooke, Rook King, Asia, get well. Have that voice for next week. Island Vision, Aries, Rachel, I can't pronounce it. And many others that were here. Anisha, thank you for joining in. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you Wednesday for Beverly Hills and next Sunday for Salt Lake City. Y'all have a good rest of y'all lovely Monday and good night.
Do the dance,
Bye.
Jasmine.
Good night. Good night.
Asia can't even say. Asia like.
Good night.